Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is another video taken from the Set 7 Revival, technically Set 7.5. This time we're going to be doing another one of my favorite team compositions, and that is a Mages team composition. I did an Astral game that I put up on YouTube, which is similar because it also involves a lot of mages, but there are some differences between playing vertical astral and playing vertical mages, and I'll try to go through what some of them are in this game. And it's going to be a game where we try to go all the way to 9 mages and get the full benefit of the trait. In fact, you see me here at the start of the game trying to figure out what Nomsy is in this game. I checked and immediately saw that Nomsy was not a Cannoneer, and then I was trying to see if Nomsy was a mage in this game. I'm actually going to grab the Talia and check the Talia here. And it turns out that Nomsy is a mage for this game. And whenever you get Mage Nomsy, it makes it much more viable to play mages in this set. Now, you might notice I sold the Talia. The reason for that is my immediate thought was not to play mages in this lobby. I had the early Nunu, and I also had the early, Volibear. I actually thought for a second that... I keep making the mistake of thinking that Nunu has Dragonmancer trait. Nunu does not. There was just a long period of time when Set 7 was on the client originally where turning Nunu into a Dragonmancer was like this super overpowered thing you could do. So I was like, oh cool, Nunu plus Volibear, let's do a Dragonmancer game. But then I was like, oh wait. Nunu's not actually a Dragonmancer. I keep forgetting that. But I was still thinking about maybe doing something like this. And I also thought about going down the Shimmer Scale route, just because I have an early Volibear. Anytime Volibear pops up in your shop, you can look to be playing into Shimmer Scale. The first item is also a Gambler's Blade, which is a nice early Shimmer Scale item to get. I'd actually like to do a Shimmer Scale game and put it on YouTube. But no, it turns out I'm not going to go in that direction. And the reason for that is that I don't get any of the other Shimmer Scale units early on. No Jaxes, no Nasus's here popping up early. So it doesn't really make sense to play in that direction if I can't hit these. I'm also going to get the first augment, and I did think about taking AFK, but I thought I could maybe do a little bit better. Team building was also a possibility, but I did like the option to take the Beggars Can Be Choosers here. Gain 7 gold immediately, which is like basically worth the augment in and of itself, just getting 7 gold for free at the start of stage 2. And then in addition to that, it also gives you 3 free rerolls on each round. By the way, I'm also trying to check here to see what other people are playing. I was like, what are other people playing in this lobby? And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to take this. I know I'm going to be weak in the early game, but excuse me. Sorry about that. But notice that I'm actually very, very wealthy here. I don't have much in the way of board strength, but my team looks pretty strong here. I don't have much in the way of board strength, but I have a lot of gold here. I'm 20 gold already at the start of this match. I'm level 3, 22 gold. Now, that's also partly due to the lobby that we're in. This is a crab rave lobby, so everybody's getting the extra scuttle crab loot. And it means that in general, this is just going to be a high economy game for everybody. Still, that said, I am very, very wealthy in this game. And I will also have a whole bunch of extra rerolls on my next augment choices. So I'll get better odds to customize my augments. It does mean I'm probably going to loss streak here in the early game, but that is what it is. Now, I was checking through the other boards in the lobby, and I thought that I thought that this was a pretty good setup to try and play an Astral game here. By the way, look, I actually get to 30 gold right here, which is pretty wild. I'm 30 gold on 2-2, and it's not like this is a prismatic first augment, it's a silver first augment. Sometimes you can get like a crazy early amount of money if it's like the first augment's prismatic, and then you can get some big gold drop from the prismatic augment. But no, I can hit 30 gold here on 2-2. Now my board strength is terrible. Let's be clear, my board strength is awful, but yeah. So anyway, I looked around the lobby. I thought that I had a relatively clear path to try to go mages in this lobby, and with the Nomsy being a mage in this lobby, that looked pretty good. Now, after I went in that direction, I saw this. I saw this person hit the early Nomsy, and I was like, oh man, this person hit the early Nomsy. I really hope they don't try to go down the mages route. I really don't. I don't think that they have a good setup for mages at all. The only reason why it looks like they're going to play this direction is that they hit an early Nomsy. Like, they don't have a single other mage on their board. They also went to level 5 early on. I don't quite understand that. But I don't, as I was saying, I really don't think that they have a great spot. I actually think I have a much better spot to play this because I already have Astral in. No one else in the game is running Astral. And like you really should not look to play mages if you can't get an Astral opener. Astral is just so tied to the mage trait. And then I see this person who also was not in any position to play a mage opener whatsoever. They had a Mirage opener. They choose the random emblem, and what pops out? A stupid mage hat. As soon as I see that, I was like, oh no. Oh no, this person's going to contest me on mages, aren't they? I mean, they really have almost no choice because they got the mage emblem. But that is, it's this player right here. But that's still really bad luck. Because, like, you can just look at this person's setup. They were very, very clearly not planning on playing mages at all. Like, not even a little bit. And then they got the mage emblem. So I was like, oh, man, that is definitely not what I want. Now here I'm going to end up, so I have to sell a unit to get to 40 gold. So I'll sell the Talia because I don't really care about her very much. But I am 40 gold level 4 here on 2-3. Now I've lost every single round, so that's less than great. But it is a pretty decent setup in that regard there. I will get my first pick on what I can take here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a tier. I can also get it on a Lilia, which gives me another mage to play, and that's pretty good there. I'm still hoping I can find a Lux, though. Lux is the unit I need to make this board work in the early game. Similar to an Astral board, Lux is your carry all throughout the early game, both in a mage's board and also on an Astral board. So they look similar throughout the early game, and then they diverge a little bit from there. Biggest difference is I am not going to be stacking up all of the other Astral units on my board. I don't care about Nidalee. As soon as I find Lux, I can ditch Nidalee. Like, I just don't need her on this board at all. And oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I get a Lux from the Astral Orb. This is great. Now I can look to go ahead and just put a blue buff on Lux, which is a good item on her. And now I can just play another unit, and I decide to put in the Talia. As far as whether to play her or Lilia, it's a little bit unclear to me which one of them is better here. They're probably roughly comparable. Lilia will give me a little bit more frontline, so maybe that would be better, but Talia's probably going to do more damage because she's not going to die so early in the fights, but whatever. And now I can really sell the two, can probably sell the two Nidalees, honestly. I don't really need Nidalee on this board because I'm not planning on going the vertical Astral route here. This other board that I'm up against is worth noting here. They have the Nasus Hero Augment. This is something that was added in set 7.5. I think it's called Soul Eater, and it turns Nasus into a carry. You can see they got the Gambler's Blade from Shimmer Scale plus a Rage Blade, and they also randomly have a Sunfire Cape on Nasus. But it turns him into like a melee AD unit as opposed to a tank. And with them having, they're kind of win streaking right now, and they're also playing Shimmer Scale, so they're getting money from the Gambler's Blade. That board's going to be a problem. Like, I already know that team's going to be a huge problem long term. This is great news, though. I get an early Silas. Like, you always want an early Silas if you're playing mages. It just makes the board so much stronger to get an early Silas because he gives you Bruiser trait to pair with Skarner, who you're probably going to want to play. And then in addition, he gives you another mage. It just gives you another tier of that mage trait. I've also been having great luck at finding Skarner so far. So I'm already on 5 Skarners. And that's great because mages board also tend to struggle with frontline. Like, you just tend not to have much in the way of frontline when you're playing these team compositions. So if I can hit an early 3-star Skarner, again, odds are I can probably get some of them out of the Astral Orbs. And maybe I'll just hit a couple more naturally while playing. That would help me out quite a bit. Yeah, Skarner actually tanks for quite a while. He gave me almost 10 seconds there. And that's really all that I need. So my overall position is quite good. Again, I think I'm playing mages from a good setup here. I have Astral in. I have a ton of income to work with. I already have the 4 mages on level 6. I can put in the 5 mages for the next tier of the trait. I'm going to get all these augment rerolls. So the odds are actually pretty good. I can get a mage emblem in this game because if you the last 2 augments tend to be customed. They're like tailored based on the board you're playing to some extent. By the way, another Lux, the Astral Orbs are really helping me in this lobby setup here. But the orbs are the augments are tailored to the board you're running. They've been this way for quite a while. So if you're running a heavy mage board, you are much more likely to get an augment that gives you the mage emblem. So I'm really hoping I can get that. And then this person is playing mage. I was like, why is this person playing mages? What is going on here? I've got like 2 different people, and then that person's playing mages too. I was like, what is going on? So from an initial read of the lobby was like, okay, maybe one other person is going to play mages. Now I'm in this position where it's like half the freaking lobby is playing mages out of nowhere. We also get these ridiculous gold drops here. Like huge gold drops here, like to an insane extent. Um, so I am just going to go immediately to level 7. You might be like, what the heck? Why are you going to level 7 here? Well, it's because this is a Mage Nomsy game. If you're playing mages and it's a Mage Nomsy game, the unit you need to hit is Lux and the Nomsy. And I have the best odds to hit the Nomsy on level 7, because 7 is where you go for 3-cost reroll. Now, I'm able to get there absurdly early. I'm already here on, I'm level 7, 50 gold on 3-1, which is completely ridiculous from an econ perspective. Now I just need to hit my units. I was able to get up to the 5 mages, which is great. I have Astral Income coming in. I also got some good items to drop there on the minion round as well. I was able to make a Gnasher's Tooth. Now I just need 1 rod to make Jeweled Gauntlet. And then I'll have that Gnasher's Tooth plus Jeweled Gauntlet synergy working there. By the way, this fight's close, but I'm able to take out the Lee Sin, which fortunately was only 1 star. And I actually end win streak. That player had been win streaking all through stage 2, so that's pretty good. So now my biggest concern is, why are all these people playing mages? So many people playing mages. I'm like, oh man, I'm in great shape to play the board. I'm really worried. I'm going to be super duper contested in this lobby. All right, second augment. Now again, I get a ton of rerolls, and then I see this immediately: Essence Theft. Mages attacks drain 8 mana from the target and gain 4 mana. Also gain a Lux. I was like, that sounds great. I'm planning on playing vertical mages. Let's do this. And then in addition to that, I also get a Dream Shop. I get 2 Luxes in the shop, plus I finally get Nomsy popping up. So I was like, this is great. This is what I need. And now I'm up to 5 Luxes. Hopefully I can still get a few more from the Astral Orbs. And I'm sitting on 6 mages, which is a little bit awkward, but it's the best I can do. I could actually take out a mage right now if I needed to, and then look to get another like utility unit in, although I'm not sure what that would be. I guess I could play Zyra, I suppose. Like I could take Talia out and play Zyra. You might also notice I passed a Talia in the shop. The reason why I did that is it's due to bench space. I just do not have a lot of bench space, but I still should have picked that up anyway. I was thinking that I was out of bench space, but I could have actually held that unit and it would have been okay. Well, here's one of the several players contesting me, this person Melusive. They are also looking to play this board. Again, I think my setup is better than theirs. The only thing that they have is they have now gotten a mage emblem from their second augment. But come on, Heimer, get the stun off. There we go. Anytime I'm up against a board that's directly contesting me, it's a big deal to beat them. It also keeps my win streak going, which is really nice here. I'm also hoping I can get 1 more Skarner out of the Astral Orb, because I'm on 8 Skarners here. And then I got to sell something. Got to sell something. Remember how I said I sold that Talia for bench space? Yeah. So I'm really close to hitting a bunch of stuff. I'm on 8 out of 9 Skarners. I'm on 2 out of 3 Silases. I'm on 2 out of 3 Vlads. For some reason, I keep missing Vlad. And I'm on 2 out of 3 Nomsys here as well. So again, theory for the game is we're going to stay here on level 7. We're trying to 3-star Nomsy, and we're trying to 3-star Lux. Those are the units we need to hit to make this board work. Lux is our early carry, and then Nomsy will be our next carry after this. Now, this person is also looking to play mages, and again, it just feels like I don't quite understand why so many people are contesting this. The big issue here is I think this person might have pivoted out of it, but look what they got. They got a frying pan out of the last minion round. It's just like every time I feel like these other people should not be contesting me, then they get something that pops up from like a minion round or whatnot that then allows them to suddenly be in a position to contest me again. So, excuse me, so that player got a frying pan out of the minion round. You know how I got like the giant gold drops? I got like a 20 or 30 gold drop there. They got a frying pan. So now they're like, oh, cool. Well, maybe I wouldn't play mages, but now I've got a frying pan. Now I'm going to play mages. And I'm like, really? So there's another player. What is it? I think there's 2 other people contesting me. There's that person who just got the frying pan, and then there's the other person who got the prismatic mage hat or whatever it was called. So they got the mage emblem. So they're both going to have mage emblems at the very least. The good news is I was able to get the item I wanted here. I was able to make the Jeweled Gauntlet on Lux, and hey, there's 2-star Silas, and hey, okay, 2-star Vlad. I don't really care that much about Vlad, but the good news about Vlad is he does give me a higher rank of Astral Now this roll down here, not so great. I didn't really hit anything, but I did hit 2-star Silas, so that's kind of nice. I will need to get some tank items at some point in time. I'm kind of lacking tank items, but I'll do the best that I can. I feel like I had to try to prioritize getting that Jeweled Gauntlet first because the Nashers plus Jeweled Gauntlet synergy is just like a really, really strong setup. So Lux has like perfect items here. This is pretty much exactly what you'd want to put on her. And next I'll try to get items for Nomsy. Obviously it makes more sense to itemize the Lux first because I have Lux 2-star, I only have Nomsy 1-star, and yeah, hey, we're kind of chomping right through these boards right now. Again, as I keep saying, I think my position to play mages is an excellent one. It's just there's all these other people. I'm like, this person's not even playing mages, they're playing shapeshifters. They've got 5 Luxes on the bench. Now that's because they have Pandora's bench and they're trying to reroll stuff, but still, it's like, what? You have 5 Luxes on your bench? Seriously? Could you, like, not hold all the Luxes on your board? Oh my god. And then this other person again, now it looks like they won their round too. So what is it? It's Melusive I'm contesting. And then there's another player whose name I can't remember who are also going mages. There we go. Good job, Astral Orbs, giving me another Lux. That's great news. I think I have about 25, it's like 20 to 25% odds each round that I'm going to get a Lux out of the Orbs. And of course, I might also be able to see them just rolling naturally here on level 7. The odds are better to hit Lux on level 6, but the odds are better to hit Nomsy on level 7. And I need to hit both. So I think it makes the most sense to be on level 7 here overall. All right, one more round. If I can win this round, I carry my win streak through to the minion round. And the good news, I hit this person. This person is apparently AFK. So at least there's this person, the person who got the random emblem and got the mage emblem. It looks like they just decided to quit the lobby. So that is a bit of a break. Again, there were 3 other people contesting me, but it looks like one person's AFK and is rapidly headed out of the lobby. So at least now it's down to just 2 other people contesting me. Unfortunately, both of them are going to have mage emblems, whereas I do not have a mage emblem. But I still think I have reasonable odds to get one out of the orbs. And look at this. Come on, Shio, you beat up that Nomsy. I want Nomsy to lose. Oh, man. I want that Nomsy player. So it's Super Hua Hua. It's Melusive and Super Hua Hua. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Those are the 2 people contesting me. Oh, the other reason why it's good to roll on 7 is, and there we go, I get the 3-star Skarner, awesome. The other reason why it's good to roll on 7 is this is also a place where I can find more Silases. And Silas 3-star would be really good for my board. Also, another great shop. I get 2 more Luxes, excellent. Now I have 8 out of 9 Luxes. So I need to hit the Lux, and then hopefully I can hit the Nomsy, and we'll be able to go from there. At least I was able to preserve a lot of health here, though. That 6-match winning... I've actually done this perfectly from an econ perspective. 4-match losing streak into 6-match winning streak. Like, that just gives you so much money when you can put that together. And I continue to get a lot of gold drops here. But, all right, and there's some pretty good stuff there. Those are more items I can use for spellcasting stuff. Not bad. I did think about making... So I was trying to consider, should I make a Morelos here? Because I actually do not have a heal cut on my board. And Nomsy's pretty good at applying the Morelos burn here. By the way, there's another Silas. We're up to 5 Silases, so keep that in mind. Just going to keep that in the background. By the way, there's a Soraka here. I did think about buying this. And the logic was, if I can get a Mage Cap out of... And there's another Soraka. I was like, okay. Good news is I do hit 3-star Lux. But I was thinking, if I can get a Mage Cap out of, like, this next Augment, then I could play the Soraka potentially for... I could play Mage Soraka, which would be just, like, so good. But then I was like, you know what? I'm a little low on bench space. Let's not do that. Anyway, to get back to my previous point, I did think about making a Morelos here. The reason why I didn't do that is I have no use for bows in this comp outside of making Nashor's Tooth. It is like literally the only thing I can do with a bow is make a Nashor's Tooth. So that's why I went ahead and made that item. If I get another belt, I would definitely like to make a Morello, so I have some kind of a heal cut on my board. That's really important against any board that has a lot of lifesteal or healing. Now, we're able to overpower this particular board. That's the Soul Eater Nasus board. And we're going to get our last augment here, so... Oh, there's the Mage Crest. So I was happy to see this. I really do want a Mage Crest. But at the same time, I was also like, why didn't I pick up that Soraka? I could have had a... Why didn't I pick up that Soraka? I could have potentially played Mage Soraka here. That would have been really, really good to have because Mage Soraka would cast twice and heal my team for an absurd amount. Plus, she'd even give my Tactician additional health, although I've been preserving health really well here in the lobby. All right, so the question now is, do I stay here on level 7 and keep rolling for Nomsy, or do I try to level? And I thought that the decision that made the most sense was to try to hit the Nomsy 3-star. So I am committed to hitting the Nomsy 3-star. I'm going to stay here on level 7 for the time being and try to hit this unit. Now, the reason why is I looked at the two other people playing mages, and they were both rushing level 9. They were clearly both trying to rush to level 9. So I thought that that would give me space to probably hit the Nomsy a little bit more easily. And I just don't think that I can win the lobby unless I have Nomsy 3-star. One of the problems with mages is there's no 4-cost mage unless you count Soam. I guess he is technically a 4-cost mage, but you don't play Soam on a mage board. Not normally, because you just don't have enough spaces for it. You play him on a Lagoon board, not really a mage's board. And then the 5-cost mage is Zoe, who is great. Zoe's an amazing unit, but she's a utility unit, not a damage unit. Also, my win streak did finally come to an end. So anyway, the problem is if you're in order to do enough damage in the late game, you kind of need your mages to be 3-starred. Like you can't really get it done with just 2-star mages. Like rushing to level 9 is not something that really makes sense on this board. You can do it with an astral board. Like for an astral board, you hit 3-star Lux, and then you go level 9, and you try to hit 2-star Aurelian Soul. And like that's the plan there. But for a mage's board that's not playing deep into Astral, you got a 3-star Lux because she's your 1 carry. And then if it's a Mage Nomsy game like this, you really have to 3-star Nomsy as well. Otherwise, you just don't have enough damage to win the late game fights. We actually had a game, one of our, we do the Friday games on live stream sometimes, and we had one of our players, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was because it's been a couple weeks since then, but one of our players had this exact scenario, is they had the mage hat. It was a Mage Nomsy game. They were playing mages, and they decided to go to rush level 9 so they could play 9 mages, as opposed to staying on level 7 and trying to hit 3-star Nomsy. And I said on live stream at the time I thought that was probably a mistake. By the way, Lux, one more cast. Shio, you got her. I said at the time I thought that was a mistake. I thought it made more sense to stay on level 7, hit 3-star Nomsy, then go level 9 and try to play a 9 mages board. So that's what I'm trying in this game. The difference in this game is I'm super contested by these two other players. At least the player who's AFK is now out of the lobby, so that's good. Person who got the mage emblem at the start of the game. I am going to be, what, 3rd pick here? Yeah, 3rd pick, so hopefully I can get something decent here. I am going to end up taking the rod, and oh, you know what? I think that was actually a mistake. I was actually trying to make Morelos here, so I grabbed a rod, and oh, no, that's wrong. I'm misremembering this. I grabbed the rod because I wanted to make an Ionic Spark because I didn't have any magic shred on my board. And I had this extra cloak on Skarner, so I wanted to get some MR shred on my board, which I think was definitely needed. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, okay, that does make a lot of sense, I think. But yeah, I'm still just taking my time rolling here. I've got the 6 Nomses. I am on 7, Silases. But I look at this person and I'm like, really? So like this person is level 8. They're rolling on level 8. It's actually quite difficult for them to hit the 3-star Nomsy. But they have 3 champion duplicators. And like this other person, Melusive, they're level 9. They're not going to hit 3-star Skarner on level 9. This person right here. So like they're level 9, but like I don't think they built the board especially well. They have a Soam on the board for some reason. You don't really play Soam on a heavy mages board. He just eats up 2 slots, and like without Lagoon trade, he's actually not that good. So you can see I'm beating this board pretty easily here. But they're holding Lux, well, they're holding more of the Nomsies. And that other player has 3 champion duplicators. They got 2 of them out of the augment that they took. They took the one that gives you double lesser champion duplicators, and then they must have gotten another one out of like an orb or something. So I was like, oh, really? That other person has 3 champion duplicators, so they're clearly, like, they would clearly never hit 3-star Nomsy normally, but they have the 3 champion duplicators. So I was like, really? All right. It was at this point I decided I was just going to sit on gold, and I was like, I'm not going to roll until one of these players gets knocked out. I'm just going to sit on my gold here. This person's super hua-hua. They have 5 Nomsies, and they have triple champion duplicators. Again, they're rolling on level 8, which is not the place you roll if you want to hit Nomsy. But this other player, Melusive, who's relatively low on health. And here we go. They found a Nomsy. So now this person has 3-star Nomsy. The rest of their board is honestly not that well built. It's really not. And they rolled at the wrong level, but they just had the 3 duplicators. So now that means there are a ridiculous number of Nomsies out of the pool. I have 6 of them. The one player with the 3-star Nomsy has 9 more, so that's 15 out. And I think the other player has like 4 more, so there's like 19 copies of the unit out. The good news is in the set revival, there are more copies of each unit. Normally in TFT, there's only 18 copies of the 3 cost. There are 30 copies of the 3 cost here in the set revival. So it is still possible to find this unit, but yeah, I'm mostly waiting and hoping that this person, Melusive, gets knocked out of the lobby, because that'll put those units back in the pool. By the way, great Treasure Dragon, Archangel Staff, Adaptive Helm, Crown Guard. I was like, yes, that's on the second roll. Awesome. I can make use of these items. So let's go ahead and do something with these. Let's see. So I'm going to pop these items off Nomsy. I'm going to put the Crown Guard, obviously, on the Skarner. We want the Gnasher's Tooth. And the Archangel Staff is fine. It's not like the greatest item for Nomsy. It's not bad. Adaptive Helm, not terrible either. But I was like, what do I want to do? I could do another Archangel Staff. I don't really want that. Let's reforge this. Oh, okay. Gunblade, maybe not what I would have picked, but like I'm down with Gunblade. It's not bad. So these are maybe not like the most perfect ideal items for Nomsy, but like they are not bad. Not bad at all. They're certainly serviceable. And a 3-star Nomsy with these items is definitely going to carry pretty hard. All right. Oh, what was it? That's right. I went ahead and that's right. I leveled to 8 because I thought my board did need another unit on it. I thought staying at level 7 would leave my board a little too weak. So I decided I would go here and stay here. And now I'm going to wait to see if I can get this, if this person can get out of the lobby. You notice I'm on the awkward 8 mages, so I will continue to stay here. Now, obviously, I can get 9 mages in, but I have to be level 9 for that. But if I go to level 9, my odds to find Nomsy and Silas go down by too much, so I have to stay here for the time being. And again, I'm just going to save gold and try to wait for these people to get knocked out. I need this person, Melusive, to be out of the lobby, and I want that person, Super Huahua, to be out of the lobby as well. But Super Huahua has the 3-star Nomsy, so I'm less convinced they're going to be out of the game. Good news is I did hit the Zoe, so that's really nice. Zoe, the most difficult unit to hit. I'm up against the Shapeshifters board here. I'm really concerned that when they hit 2-star Shyvana, that I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. The good news is they're level 8, so hopefully they won't hit the Shyvana. The odds to hit the 5-cost dragons at level 8, not great. And hopefully they'll just be out of the lobby before they can find this unit. Now, unfortunately, Melusive won that round. I get another Lux, but that's not going to help me here. So anyway, that person, Melusive, won their round, and Super Huahua won their round as well. So I was like, all right, we have to be patient here. We have to be patient. Have to wait until these players get knocked out. By the way, Super Huahua actually has double mage hats. Like, what the heck? Double mage hats? Are you kidding me? I mean, I have the one, which is nice, but yeah, okay. All right. I have the one, but I would certainly like another one. So anyway, a lot of this is just trying to pick my moment. When do I start committing funds for rolling down? How long can I afford to wait here? I have to try to preserve health. By the way, that Zoe invulnerability bubble was absolutely clutch there. She kept like the whole front line alive right when they were about to take damage. This is the Shimmer Scale player. It looks like this person. Yeah, looks like we've got this person. Not, by the way, not the Soul Eater Nasus Shimmer Scale, the other Shimmer Scale player. Okay, Melusive lost their round. Super Huahua lost their round. Okay, one more loss and Melusive is hopefully out of this lobby. So I was like, all right, come on, can we get this person out of the lobby? Again, I'm on 87 gold here. I'm just waiting until this person dies, so their 4 Nomsies will go back in the pool, and it'll be easier to hit this unit. So again, we have to be patient. We gotta be patient here. Cannot afford to roll down to 0. I have health to burn, so I'm gonna try to do that. I'm also there is an Assassins player who has a Kiana and a Diana jumping in the back line, so I'm gonna try to position in the corners to protect against that. I want Nomsy and Lux to be on opposite sides. All right, well, this is great. If I can beat Melusive here, maybe I can get them out of the lobby because they're only on 13 HP. Can we just kill this person and deal with our issues here? All right, unfortunately, my Lux is kind of on the wrong side because she didn't focus the Soam. But, oh, wow, one-shotting the Nomsy in the back line. All right, we got this. And is this person dead? Come on, get this person out of the lobby. Oh, my God, 1 HP. Oh my god. They actually had a Soraka cast during that fight and give them 2 more health or they would have been out of the lobby. One more unit dying, or one more unit on my board surviving, and they would have been eliminated. But now they're still alive for at least 1 more round. I really wanted this person to die so I could get those Nomsies back into the pool again. Well, that certainly would have been nice. But no, they survive with 1 HP. Super Huahua is on 6 HP, so these 2 people are both barely alive. But one of them has to die soon, right? Right? Both of their boards are about to die. So one of them has to get knocked out by somebody. You also saw that I went in my team planner and I put Graves there. That's because there's a player who has 5 Graves already, and I'm worried that they're going to go for a 3-star Graves. So don't want that to happen. But come on, one of these mage players has to get knocked out of the lobby soon. As for me, I'm going to go ahead and take this blue buff on Carousel, which is great to put on the, what's her name? On the Zoe. So it's going to be fantastic on Zoe. It's just going to cause her to cast more often. And I also find a Soraka on my board, so now I can look to play Soraka on my board if I want to. And I have to take something out, and the only thing that makes sense to take out is the, what is it, the Lilia. Now, that does cost me a little bit of front line, so a little bit sketchy there. I don't love that, but having a Soraka double casting should be pretty nice on my board. She's also hopefully going to give me the extra health. Remember, every time she casts, well, not every time she casts, the first time she casts, it's going to give me 2 additional health. All right, Super Huahua's on 6 HP. If I beat this person, they're out of the lobby, and we're just done with this. All right, my Zoe mistimes her invulnerability bubble. It hits when absolutely nothing is going on. All right, come on, we killed the Nomsy. All right. We've killed all their damage, basically, but now I have Lux and Nomsy left. Can we finish off this board? The other board basically just has tanks left, but man, my Zoe mistimed her invulnerability bubble and blocked no damage at all. Slightly better RNG in that fight, and I could have won, and they would have been out of the lobby. They are not out of the lobby, but the good news is Melusive is out of the lobby, so that's a bunch of Nomsys going back in the pool. And I believe that do I end up rolling here, or do I wait one more round? All right, well, I don't need more Skarners here. I ended up deciding to wait one more round because there's a good chance Super Huahua can get knocked out in this round. If Super Huahua dies on this round, then all of those Nomsys, all 9 of them will go back in the pool. That was my hope. I was like, oh, come on, I really need this person to die here. I was close to knocking them out. I was really, really close to knocking them out, but couldn't quite put it together. Unfortunately, now I'm hitting the strongest player in the lobby. This is the Soul Eater Nasus board. They're level 10. They have a bunch. They have like 1 billion stacks on the Nasus. Yeah, he has like fighter items there. And they have a Zoe in the backlines. I do not think that my board can beat this without 3-star Nomsy. I need 3-star Nomsy, and I need to be level 9. Because you can see this fight is not, it's not especially close. And I'm going to take a bad loss here. At least Soraka did get her cast off before dying. So I did get the 2 extra HP there. But Nomsy is very clearly never going to kill this board. So yeah, that's a bad loss there. And unfortunately, Super Huahua survived again. So I was like, But I don't have enough time. I'm going to go ahead and start rolling down here. I'm going to use the minion round as a chance to start doing this. By the way, it's actually a Crab Rave round. I have like 100 gold, and I am not the fastest roller, so I know I need time to burn through this money. So I'm just going to start my roll down right now. All right, we'll pick up the Silas here. I am on 8 Silases. By the way, it's a Crab Rave game. And as soon as I see this, I was like, wait a minute. It's a Crab Rave game. Super Huahua's on 6 HP. If this person can't kill the Crab Rave, they're going to die here. And mage boards are really bad at killing the crab. You need like a tanky melee DPS with like a lot of lifesteal to kill the crab. I was like, this person's going to die to the crab. Now, I am also going to lose to the crab, but I have 29 health. This person has 6 health. They're going to die, and all those Nomsies are going back in the pool. Yeah! Crab for the win. Okay, so again, I lose health as well, but now all those Nomsies go back in the pool, so it's like roll. Gotta hit the Nomsies. All right, I'm at 8 Silases, 8 Nomsies. Nomsy. Come on. All right, there we go. Now I need to get to level 9. Boop, 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 boop. And in goes Talia. All right, I managed to get there. 9 mages with the 3-star Nomsy. Let's go. All right, now I'll continue rolling. So, like, I find Bard in the store, but there's no way to play Bard on this board. You might think, well, why not just Mage Bard? But no, I can't do that. The Mage hat has to go on Skarner. I could only do that if I went to level 9, or if I took Skarner off the board. If I took Skarner off the board, I could also manage it. But if I want to play 9 mages, which I do, I have to put the Mage hat on the only non-mage on my board, which is Skarner. Skarner's the only unit on this board that is not a mage. So he has to get the Mage hat, or else I can't play 9 mages. This is one thing that's nice about Mage Nomsy. If it's a Mage Nomsy game, you can play 9 mages, and you only need 1 Mage hat. If it's not a Mage Nomsy game, you need at least 2 Mage hats in order to make it work. Especially because Sohm is like really awkward, because he eats up 2 slots to be a mage. Alright, now 9 mages gives you a pretty ridiculous AP boost. The mage trait causes your units to cast twice. If you have mage 3, they cast at decreased ability power. Mage 3 or units cost, I think it's at 90% ability power. Well, and then it's like more and more AP the deeper you play into the trait. Well, with Mage 9, all of my mages get 190% ability power. Yeah, 190% ability power. So they basically get double damage for all intents and purposes. That's almost like having 2 death caps on every single unit. So their damage is absolutely ridiculous. Their damage is really crazy. But, now I have 3-star Silas. Like, I have, like, legit frontline. A 3-star Silas. These are not, like, insane items on Silas, but they're not bad. And with his ability to double cast, he gets a massive shield when he casts. Now, this is the board that I'm also really concerned about. This is the Shapeshifters board. They did hit the 2-star Shyvana, and unfortunately, it's actually not even the Shyvana in this round. The Gnar gets in my backline and assassinates the Lux. Now, if I just can keep Lux and Nomsy alive, I can win these rounds, but oh no, I don't win it. And okay, woo, 4 HP, 4 HP in a dream. So obviously I cannot lose any more rounds here for the rest of the game or I am out. But I still got another shot here. I still got a shot here. I think my board is very strong. I'm just looking for one more Zoe here. And by the way, there's a 2-star Graves, but it turns out the Graves player is actually out of the lobby, so I don't need to hold Graves anymore. I can sell that and look for Zoe. I'd really like to get Zoe 2-star. She would be a huge spike for my board. But the problem is that Shimmer Scale Nasus player actually has 5 Zoes on their team. Like, what the heck? They have a 2-star Zoe and another Zoe pair on their bench. The good news is I get them in a ghost round this round. We all know ghost rounds are buggy, so hopefully that makes it easier to win. I also did get the positioning right for Lux. I got Lux in the correct corner to hit that Zoe. So, come on, one more cast, Lux. That should take out the Zoe before her needlessly big gem goes off. All right, good. We killed her before the needlessly large gem triggers. And now all that's left is a Leona, which we will, of course, beat. So, in the non-ghost round, I don't even know who I want to win. I think I maybe want the Nasus board to win because I lost to the Shapeshifters board. So, maybe I don't want the Shapeshifters board to win. In fact, if the Shapeshifters board loses this round, they're out of the lobby. But no, they end up winning. And 1 HP again. What is it with people surviving on 1 HP in this game? Although, to be fair... Oh, by the way, I'm going to take the Soraka here. I realized I needed a heal cut on my board. There's a lot of healing on that Shapeshifters board. I really need a heal cut. So I'm going to grab that. I did realize at this point, I was like, wait a minute. I put Soraka on my board for 2 rounds. Soraka gives you back 2 health when she casts for the first time. The only reason I'm alive in this game is I played that Soraka for 2 rounds. She literally, I would be dead right now if it hadn't been for that Soraka. So I'm really glad I played her for 2 rounds. And hey, Vlad 3-star. Okay, I don't think that's going to do anything, but I mean, sure, why not? Now I have the Morellos. I need to put that on someone. Nomsy has to hold this item. Nomsy's definitely the best person to hold this. The least important item on Nomsy is the Gunblade, so I'll move that one. Gunblade's not exactly great on Zoe either, but I didn't really want that item on her. So now I've got the 3-star Nomsy with the Morellos. I have a lot of 3-stars on my board. I have 9 mages. My board is really strong. I've hit basically everything I conceivably could, except the Zoe, which I can't because this person has 6 Zoes on their board. I actually think they should have played the Bard over 6 Zoes. I think that's actually a mistake. They have a 2-star Bard on the bench. They also, I think, have 7 Idases, so hopefully they will not hit that. But we sniped the Zoe, more really nice invulnerability bubbles on me. And it turns out this board actually doesn't really have that much damage. I'm actually going to take that out. And then my Ghost wins the other round for first place. Woo! Oh, man, what a tough lobby. To win that game with, there were 3 other people playing mages at one point, although one of them then went AFK. Woo! Oh my goodness. So what a tight, close game. By the way, the stats bugged out again, so I'm just going to put in a screenshot from third-party website. I actually think there were some pretty big mistakes with those last 2 boards that helped me. The Shapeshifter board really did not need to play the Hecarim for frontline. I think they should have played like Xayah instead, because like they needed more damage. They didn't need Hecarim. They had infinite frontline already, and they had a 3-star Twitch in the background. They should have played Xayah for more damage. And then the Nasus board, they just had too many tanks. They actually played 6 Guardians. They did not need 6 Guardian. They could have taken out the Braum and the Zac and played like Deja instead. Deja would have been fantastic on that board. Remember, Gambler's Blade was one of the Shimmer Scale items. They could have done to like Archangels, Gambler's Blade, Deja. That would have been really strong. So I'm glad they didn't. But like definitely some mistakes in terms of how those boards were built. Anyway, though, it was a fun game. I think I picked the right moments to roll. Got a little bit lucky to be sure, but man, what a close, tight game. 9 mages for the win. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this one. Until next time, hope you're all having a great week. Take care, folks. I'll see you again soon.